Welcome to the Carriker Chronicles, the People Show. Checking the pulse of Husker Nation, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I get to do a prediction show. We get to talk about Nebraska, Minnesota, Matt Rhule, PJ Fleck, best buds for life. Well, maybe not, but we'll see. We'll see how their first initial meeting goes this Thursday night. All right, I took a whole lot of notes, ladies and gentlemen. I did a whole lot of research, a whole lot of recon. I got a lot of stuff to talk about. Hopefully, we can educate a few folks, starting with myself. I'm going to give my three keys, my prediction. Jacob's going to give his expert prediction at the end of the show. I'm just going to give you a hint. I think it's going to be close. May even be a little ugly. My prediction may surprise you. My three keys, my prediction. We're going to go through these notes rather quickly. I do think it's going to be a close game. First, before we bring on my highly intelligent, incredibly good-looking son, who obviously looks like his mom, okay, I want your feedback real quick, okay? Matt Rhule said in his press conference last Friday that he is confident Nebraska will be physical versus Minnesota on Thursday night. If that excites you, smash that like button if you're looking forward to seeing a physical Nebraska football team. Now, my 14-year-old son, Jacob, he's in the 8th grade, just started school, just turned 14 late July. He's been coming on this show for 8 years since he was 6 years old. How you doing, Jacob?
I'm doing very well.
You're like a seasoned pro at this point.
Yeah, pretty much.
Ready to have some fun?
I am ready.
Talk some football?
Yeah.
Now, go ahead.
I thought this was baseball.
Not quite. We'll get there. We'll get there. Now, you made the comment to me, in order for you, like, there used to be a huge height difference. He's 6 foot, by the way, okay, as a 14-year-old. He used to have to sit on, like, 6 books, so it wouldn't be such a disparaging height difference. You pointed that out to me before the show. You've grown just a smidge. All right, should we talk a little Husker football?
Let's do it.
All right, so one thing I thought was interesting. Nick Monroe, Minnesota's quarterbacks coach, and he's listed as a co-defensive coordinator, was Tony White's defensive staff, had been on it since 2020 at Syracuse. Now, he was also there when they played Minnesota, okay, when Minnesota beat Syracuse 28-20 in the bowl game last December. Tony White has recent experience versus Minnesota's offense, okay? Also, Nick Monroe probably still has Tony White's game plan for that bowl game from Syracuse where they played Minnesota, and now he's on Minnesota's staff. He may still have that game plan that Tony White had when they were playing Minnesota last December. Do you think that's really a big deal? Do you think it's going to matter?
It mattered a little bit, not too much, because it was so long ago. I just changed so much. It'll matter a little bit, because it's still going to be the same, but it's going to be different, I think.
I agree, especially Nebraska is going to have some different personnel. Now, let's talk about Mr. PJ Fleck, Mr. Row the Boat, Mr. Popular. What'd you say to me the other day?
Sink the ship?
Sink the ship. That's what it was. All right. PJ Fleck is in his 7th year as Minnesota being the head coach. He has a 62% win percentage. He's 4-0 in bowl games. In 2019, they won 11 football games, which was the most wins a Minnesota team had in over 100 years since 1904 when they went 13-0. Okay, he also won Big Ten Coach of the Year in 2019. Now, last year, the Gophers, formerly known as the Golden Gophers, dropped gold. Now they're just the Gophers, went 9-4, and all 4 of those losses were within a 12-point margin. Now, they have a new offensive staff, okay, with Greg Harbaugh and Matt Simon handling co-offensive coordinator duties. Now, gone at the quarterback position for Minnesota's 84-year starter, okay, Tanner Morgan. I practiced this. I hope I do this name some justice. All right, Ethan Kalakamenis. Okay, I hope I did that some justice. I apologize if I didn't. He's the projected starter, played in 11 games last year, started 5 games. He passed for 946 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. Now, he's a talented young man, but I got a question for you, Jacob. If your returning starting quarterback had more interceptions than touchdowns from the year before, would that concern you at all if you're a Gopher fan?
Yes, a ton. I'd like him to throw it to the right team.
I love that you just came up with that. That's awesome. All right, running back Mo Ibrahim. What was he called? The rolling ball of butcher knives. He's also gone. Now, PJ Fleck, they're going to do a running back by committee approach with anywhere from 2 to 5 running backs in the conversation, including true freshman Darius Taylor, who's quite talented, a Western Michigan transfer, Sean Tyler, both talented. Okay, now, real quick, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, DPS Construction. Okay, because this show is brought to you by them. I'm rather picky when I connect with sponsors. I want quality people, a quality company. When I spoke with Jason, he's like, Adam, Okay. Not only, ladies and gentlemen, are they your local concrete experts, check them out at dpsconstruction.net. But he's looking for quality workers. That's one of the main things he wanted people to know. If you are a diesel mechanic, a CDL driver, okay, or a concrete finisher looking for work in the Omaha metro area, DPS Construction is the employer for you. He wants quality people working for him, so they do quality work for the people that bring in his company, dpsconstruction.net. Now, you get back to the Gophers. Okay, again, they're not golden anymore. The offensive line lost 3 starters from a year ago. Now they're pass catchers, wide receivers, deep talent. Maybe the most talented deep wide receiver core P.J. Fleck has had since he got there. That includes 2019 when they had 2 NFL guys on that roster. The tight ends, talented, returning experience, could have gone pro. So their pass catchers are pretty good. Returning experience, deep talent mixture. Now, defensively, they stop the ball. They stop the run. I'm sorry, they stop the ball. They stop the run really, really well, but they struggle to get after the quarterback. If you had to prioritize one thing over the other. Now, Jacob plays on a nationally competitive tackle football team. They're going to be going to Orlando, Florida. Okay, play the big boys, see what's out there in the big wide world. But Jacob's a defensive end and a tight end. If you had to choose one thing to be better at, stopping the run or getting after the quarterback as a defensive end, defensive tackle, which one would you choose?
For just to help the defense as a whole, I think you got to stop the run, because if you can make them throw, that's really hard on the quarterback. But if they can just run it down your throat, that's what makes the good teams, especially in the past.
Okay, that's a great point. So, Minnesota's defensive line stopped the run well last year, did not get after the quarterback. Great, something they're looking to improve on. Okay, now the linebacker position, they've lost nearly 3,000 snaps worth of experience in their back 7. But let's start with the linebackers. They lost nearly 1,200 snaps that departed the program, with their top 3 linebackers either graduating or transferring. When it comes to their DBs, a lot of their top 4, they got a lot of new, is what I have written here. A lot of new people is what that means in their back 7. Okay, they lost 4 of their top DBs. Okay, cornerbacks, safeties. Especially when you look at their nickel packages they had a year ago. Okay, that nearly 1,800 snaps not coming back to the NFL, retirement, or the transfer portal. Now they did get an influx of transfers in their own right, and their best player on defense. All right. Tyler Nubin, all Big Ten safety, is coming back. Now let's focus on what Nebraska needs to do. Sound good to you?
Yes.
All right, what's that say right there, Jacob? The first thing I have written.
We need to be able to run the ball.
Yeah, we got to be able to run the football. Okay, now Jeff Sims, talented guy, dynamic with his legs, but he has not proven just yet, got a couple years of eligibility left, that he can take care of the ball through the air consistently just yet. Okay, and we've got Billy Kemp, but we need some other wide receivers who are talented yet unproven to step up. So we're going to have to start by running the ball first, and a little birdie told me they're practicing some option. Okay, so I'm excited to see what they do in the game when it comes to that. Number 2. What's number 2, Jacob?
We have to be able to tackle well.
Yeah, Tony White, when I interviewed him, said, and I quote, "You ain't playing defense here if you can't tackle," end quote. Enough said. Number 3, what we got?
Win the fourth quarter.
All right. Are we truly the better conditioned team? Our strength and conditioning staff from the previous staff I was not crazy about. I'm much more excited about our current staff. But are we the better conditioned team, truly, going forward? And if we want to start winning close games, we have to start by winning the fourth quarter. I know, revolutionary concept here. All right, I'm going to repeat it again. We have to be able to run the ball. We have to tackle well. And we have to win the fourth quarter. All right, Jacob. Minnesota, all right, they're favored. Boo. What are they favored by?
7.5.
What's the over-under?
43.5.
43.5 points. So they're thinking kind of close, low-scoring game, although 7.5, whatever. All right, I agree it will be a low-scoring game. It may even be a little bit ugly. Our defense is ahead of our offense, okay? They have some dynamic pass catchers, but they got a new quarterback, new running back, new offensive line, new in the back 7, okay? We obviously have a lot of new this year as well. I mean, there's no doubt about that, okay? But the way I look at it is this. We know what to expect out of Minnesota schematically. We're almost so new, we don't even know what to expect out of ourselves, so how can they know what to expect out of us? Okay, I initially predicted Minnesota to beat us when I did my 7-5 preview prediction show a couple of weeks ago. After a deeper dive, all right, my unbiased prediction, I'm allowed to change my mind. It's my show, I'll do what I want. Minnesota 17, Nebraska 24. What do you got, Jacob?
I got Minnesota 17, Nebraska 21.
Now, I thought you were going to turn heel on the folks because this is scratched out.
No.
This is scratched out because he initially had Minnesota winning, then he tried to copy my score. No, I'm just kidding. He actually did beat me in a head-to-head prediction contest a couple of years ago. He has not stopped bragging about that. All right. I got 3 questions for you fine folks at home because the good guys here predicted Nebraska to win in our kind of unbiased opinion, mostly unbiased. Number 1, let me know in the comments below, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. I want to know your thoughts. Will our offensive line be better? If we're going to be physical, if we're going to run the ball, our offensive line has to be better. Will we be a physical team? Matt Rhule said he's confident we'll be a physical team. Will we be a physical team? And number 3, will we win the game? Yes or no? Or you can give me your score prediction below. Keep it simple. If you missed any of my 8-part interview series, Roy Halou, Prince Amukamara, Larry the Cable Guy, Jim Pillen, the governor, former Husker, we got Tony White, we got Rex Burkhead, we got Amon Green, we got Larry the Cable Guy. Check it out at CarrikerChronicles.com. Go Big Red Nose. Remember
to throw the bones.